The history of executive protection. Executive protection has an extensive history spanning over 2,000 years and has defined culture throughout the world. Some of the most renowned protective organizations include the Japanese samurai, Europe's medieval knights, and the Vatican's Swiss Guard. Early protective organizations were often military divisions assigned to protect an individual. One of the earliest documented examples of a formal protective organization is the Praetorian Guard, which began as a select group of bodyguards for Roman generals in the 2nd century BC, and developed into a protective force for Rome's emperors. As the Praetorian Guard grew in number and social stature, they gained enough power to influence the appointing of emperors. The Guard was officially disbanded by Emperor Constantine I in 312 AD due to their disruptive political interference. Another well-known protective group was the Yeomen of the Guard, established by King Henry VII in 1485. The Yeomen provided personal protection for the ruler of England. Originally, the yeomen provided security for the ruler while in transit to battle or for overseas travel, but later they also took on the duties of guarding the palace entrances and even sampling the king's meals to safeguard him from would-be assassins. A modern version of the Yeomen of the Guard is still in service in the United Kingdom. Executive protection, as we know it today, began in 1865 with the formation of the United States Secret Service. This organization was originally created to investigate currency counterfeiting. In 1894, the USSS was called upon to protect President Grover Cleveland. In 1902, Congress mandated that the Secret Service act as the official United States Presidential Protective Organization, following the assassination of President William McKinley. As a mid-20th century innovation, corporate security departments intent on protecting their top executives no longer partner with the government. Whereas executive protection specialists were once drawn nearly exclusively from organizations like the Secret Service, local police departments, and former military personnel, such is not the case any longer. EPs are now working in corporate security and developing the skills necessary for this line of work by attending local and national training programs and schools that have been in existence since the 1980s. In the early 1990s, there began a rise in crime and violence in the workplace, including the kidnapping of high-profile executives in exchange for enormous ransoms. In some cases, executives were killed. These cases were widely publicized by mainstream media, fueling fears in corporate America. This fear led to a surge in the growth of the executive protection field. Corporations quickly recognized the value of personal protection for top executives. After 9/11, interest in the field of executive protection expanded even further as acts of terrorism became more commonplace. The purview of executive protection now includes not only high-ranking government officials, but also any individuals who have roles in international affairs and the global economy. In the corporate world, executive protection is seen as a necessary business measure, taken to preserve a corporation's human capital and to maintain corporate confidence with stockholders, employees, and also customers. Any attack can raise questions about a company's intellectual capabilities, as well as its preparedness to continue business as usual. In times of elevated risk, executive protection exists to create an environment in which business can flourish and executives are able to concentrate on business activities with a successful modicum of safety. The goal of an executive protection specialist is to provide protection while drawing as little attention to the principal as well as the protector. Today's executive protection specialist develops a mindset that focuses on preventing and avoiding threats first and utilizing combative tactics last.